Well, in Nigeria, Boko Haram militants shot people, firebombed huts and burned children to death in an attack that killed at least 86 people. The incident happened on Saturday night in Dalori village near Maiduguri in northeastern Nigeria and at two nearby camps housing 25,000 refugees. The attack came despite claims by the government that the militants no longer had the ability to carry out such major attacks, other than through suicide bombings, after the military drove them out of towns and villages in the region last year. It's believed villagers mistook the extremists, who were dressed in camouflage, for soldiers. Well, standing by in Abuja is our reporter Sophia Adengo. Sophia, good afternoon to you. So it took a while for officials to get clarity on the numbers that were killed. Have we got more on the death toll, and what else do we know about these attacks?
Well, what we do know is that this village, Dolari, which is about 5 kilometers away from Maiduguri, which is the capital of Borno, has seen significant, attacks in the past. What makes this attack so different is just the scale in which, the numbers have risen since the raid on Saturday. It's estimated that over 80 people have died as a result of these attacks in Dolari, and the Nigerian military has always maintained that the troop numbers within this area has always been, strong enough to drive out Boko Haram, and that these small terror cells that exist would not necessarily have an impact, as we have seen this weekend. But of course, that indeed has changed. The National Emergency Management Authority has continually maintained that the numbers are about 80 to 86, but hospital officials say that number is slowly rising to include also the injured in this attack this weekend. Of course, nobody has come out to openly claim these attacks, but of course, Borno is notoriously known for Boko Haram hideouts and these small terror cells and sort of lone attacks that seem to be escalating and systematically occurring through the area of Maiduguri and beyond, and also not too far from the supposed Boko Haram hideout, which is the Sambisa forest close by. Natasha.
So, Sophia, the Maiduguri region, it's the third deadly attack to hit that northeast area. What's the significance of that specific site, and why was that village specifically targeted?
Well, it's difficult to know why that village was targeted, but of course, Maiduguri is the focus here. 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers away is not too far. Maiduguri, as you know, is the capital and really a strategic geographical area in which Boko Haram has always maintained that they wanted to capture, simply because of its proximity to other neighboring countries like Cameroon and Chad and Niger, and also Benin as a neighbor. So it seems quite interesting that, the Boko Haram militants were able to get as close as they have. But I think what the Nigerian military and Nigeria always seems to have a difficult time in understanding is that you cannot profile a terrorist. You cannot dictate who is a civilian who is willing to cause no harm and who is actually a member belonging to this deadly terror sect. So that really is the difficulty in this Maiduguri area, and generally in the northeast is a large expanse of people, a large expanse of territory, but also profiling who is after causing violence in this area. Natasha.
Thank you very much for that update.